Hello everyone, I would like to read with you a few verses from Genesis 4 and see if there's any kind of understanding or we can grasp of what is happening in Cain Dynasty. Is there something like this? Let's see what the Bible says and what the Tikkun Zohar correction is saying about Cain, Enoch, and the children that they delivered. Let's go into the text. וידע קין את אשתו, וטהר ותלד את חנוך, ויהי בונה עיר. ויקרא שם העיר כשם בנו חנוך. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and gave birth to Enoch. It doesn't say that she gave birth to a son, just Enoch. ויהי בונה עיר. Cain was building a city, or is building a city. ויקרא שם העיר, and he called the name of the city כשם בנו חנוך, as the name of his son Enoch. And here, let's pay attention. Verse 18. ויוולד לחנוך את ירד, וירד ילד את מחויאל, ומחויאל ילד את מתושאל, ומתושאל ילד את למך. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begot Mehuyael, and Mehuyael begot Metushael, and Metushael begot למך. ויקח לו למך שתי נשים, שם האחת עדה, ושם השנית צילה. And Lamech took unto him two wives. The name of the one is Ada, and the name of the one, and the name of the other is Tzila. ותלד Ada et Yaval, and Ada bore Yaval. הוא היה אבי יושב אוהל ומקנה. He was the father of dwell in tents, and he had sheep and herds. Let's see how Tikkun Zohar reads those names. This is Tikkun Zohar corrections. Yes, this is letter 198. וידע קין את אשתו, and Cain knew his wife. וטהר ותלד את חנוך, and she conceived and gave birth to Enoch. Please pay attention that the verbing here is similar as what happened with Eve. ותהר, tav, ותלד. She conceived and gave birth to Enoch. There is no noun that is mentioned here as a son, as Ben. This is all feminine. Multiplicity. כל אלו, and this is what the Zohar says, כל אלו תולדות מנעו אותו להתרות בהם. All those generations kept him. Yes, להתרות is to warn him, to warn in them. The Bible says, and the Bible gives us the names of those children that came through Cain to warn us by using their names. And let's see how the Zohar learns their relation to life through their names. Vehem Chanoch, because Cain, from Cain we have Chanoch. I would like us to write those names here. Yes. Cain, and from Cain we have Chanoch, and Irad, and Mehuyael, and Metushael, ולמך. We have 7 generations that the Bible says, and he teaches us each generation what was the essence of each child. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cain, Chanoch. Let's see. Chanoch, Irad. Chanoch ve'Irad. Cain, Chanoch, Irad. Mechuyael, Metushael, and Lamech. Let's see. ולמך לקח 2 נשים, עדה וצילה. And Lamech took 2 wives, עדה and צילה. עדה, חינוך לטוב. Now the Bible explains why Lamech took 2 wives. עדה from עדות, from testimony, Ain Daled, Edut, yes, Ada. Ada from Edut, testimony, Edut. Chinuch letov, like educate for good. Like the verse says, Chanoch l'na'ar al pi darko, educate the boy according to his way. Tzila, now he gives Midrash Shem, he explained the name Tzila, Chinuch l'ra, educate for bad. וזה מלאך המוות, this is the angel of death, שמחנך את בני האדם בחינוכים רעים. This is the angel of death that shows or educate the children of men in bad ways or bad forms of education. Now he says Irad. Why Irad is called Irad? Let's write our names here in English. We have Cain. This is Cain. This is Enoch. And this Irad. What is the meaning of the name Irad? Irad, that afterwards he enters shivering in a man, in his organs. Irad from Re'ada. Irad, when we rearrange the letters of Irad, Ra'ad. Ra'ad is shivering. So here Tikkunei Zohar says why his name was Irad. From shivering. Because whenever, yes, people used to see him, they would shiver. ולאחר שמפיל בן אדם בחטאים, מלשין עליו. And then he caused man to fall in mistakes and errors. He's just betoning about him and show him what he was doing. וזהו מחויאל. מחויאל, to delete the name of God. מחויאל, here, מחויאל, למחות, to delete the name of God. ואחר כך, and afterwards, יורד ומתיש כוחו, and then he descends and exhausts him or his power and kills him. וזהו מתושאל, ששם מוות שאל. Yes, after he deletes the name of God, מחויאל, delete the name of God, delete the name of God, he asks, yes, to die. What is Metu Sha'el? Metu Sha'el. And here the Zohar says, Sha'al Mavet. We can divide the word Metu Sha'el into two parts. Sha'al, asks, or asked, and Mavet. Mavet is death. Those are the generations or the dynasty that comes from Cain. וזהו מתו שאל, ששם מוות שאל, that there he asked for death. ואין מוות אלא עניות, and there's no death but poverty, meaning of the mind. ואחר כך מולך עליו, and afterwards he reigns or he governs upon him. וזהו למך. למך is the next generation. למך, yes, after here מתו שאל, there's למך. He governs on him. נהפך עליו למלך, and after he loses his mind, yes, because the name מתו שאל, שאל מוות, ask for death, and there's no death but poor-minded people, then Lamech comes, because Lamech is not the same letters as king, as a sovereign, but the death is governing him, therefore the name is Lamech. נהפך עליו למלך, and Lamech is a person without, in a way, a head. And this one comes and governs above men. ושתי נשים שלו. Now Lamech, and this is interesting because Lamech has two wives, ושתי נשים שלו, אחת עדה, now he explains the name עדה, is from, to give testimony, שמעיד על חטאי בני אדם, meaning Lamech, after מתו שאל, comes and asks for death, and there is no death but poor-minded people. Afterwards come Lamech and governs above man's mind, so to speak, because he has no mind. And Lamech has two kinds of wives. One of them is Ada, and Ada comes from Edut, from testimony, that testifies about sins of people, because when we are poor in mind, we don't have the connection, the presence of infinity. Comes the brain and says, hey, you have sinned, you are wrong, you have been mistaken, you should have done this, should have done that. Yes? And now he explains the name Ada is testimony that the brain brings and said, hey, you were wrong here and you were wrong there. Ushniya, and now Lamech has a second wife called Tzila, comes from shadow. Tzila comes from shade. Tzila comes from shade. We mentioned this morning, shade. שהולך עליו כצל, and the name of Tzila comes from shadow, that when one has, in a way, he is lacking sovereignty, or he doesn't have a peace of mind, he is now experiencing having Tzila shadow as a wife, because a man is not walking anymore with vitality. Yes, as a person that his mind is set, he's walking like a shadow, like let's say a car. Yes, just a dark body כמו שאתה אומר, as you say, כי צל ימינו עלי ארץ, that the shadow of our days upon the earth. וכתוב, and it is written, ימיו כצל עובר. The days of his life are like a moving shadow. And here the Zohar explains the meaning of the names, yes, of, so to speak, the lineage that comes from Cain. And if we notice, all of those names are in a way explaining not positive modes or not positive modes of mindset. Plus, when we read about the lineage of Cain, if we pay attention in all of those names, it's not mentioned that there is a son being born. We just say ויוולד לחנוך את Irad, and on to Enoch was born Irad, ואירד ילד gave birth to מחויאל, ומחויאל את מתושאל, yes, and so, but there is no noun here that says ben. There is no son. The word son is not mentioned here because there is no continuity, as God promised to Cain already, that 7 generations he shall have, and then there's, in a way, it will stop. So the word son is not mentioned. This is a proof, in a way, to the first conversation that we read about in the Bible between Cain and God. I give you 4 of 7 generations, and then this is it. So though we have, or we're reading about names, Enoch, Irad, Mechuyael, Metushael, and Lamech, though the Bible mentions their names, nothing survived from this lineage. So this was our little stream today. We're wishing you a very good day and wonderful week.